buddy. Hi,
Would you be silent for just 10 minutes more, 2 more minutes?
Okay. So this topic is like, it's not new for you. We have already had presentations on these. We had them. So we had no choice. Like we thought of it's self-driven cars, auto-driven cars. So we thought of presenting auto-driven bikes, but those are like recently launched. Like it's the Google auto-driven bikes, but we are not sure if they're for real or not. So we went with the same auto-driven cars. So the first one is autonomous vehicles defined. So everybody knows what exactly is autonomous vehicles. Like there's no human interaction in them, so they drive by themselves. And then implement a number of well-placed sensors that detect different things such as other vehicles, people, traffic, like any vehicle that's beside your vehicle. So it's going to sense, so you all know that. And there's the technology of cars. So we have radar. So everybody know what radar is. It produces some signal and detects the vehicles that are beside or in front or around the car. And there's lane guidance. Lane guidance is nothing but we have lanes on the road, right? Like there are 3-4 lanes, and there are a few cameras that's gonna detect the surface and the border lines, the white colored lines, and it's going to detect using the cameras, and it helps, these lane guidance helps to move from one lane to other lane. And third one is LiDAR. LiDAR is a technology for self-driven, it's a self-driven technology used in the cars. So it helps, there's a small device on top of the car which helps to sense the things. It's a 3D scanner. It has a 3D scanner that helps to provide 3D images to the car. Like for example, there are pedestrians on the road, on footpath kind of pathway. So it detects the 3D images like bodies, human bodies and all. And the fourth one is infrared camera. Infrared camera it actually helps during night times. It helps to provide vision like for the cameras. So for the car actually. So the infrared camera, it provides a distance for like a vision for a distance to the camera. And the next one's number 5. It's a stereo vision. The fifth one is a stereo vision. Stereo vision actually helps to give the 3D images to the cars that are in front of the car. So it provides a 3D image of the vehicles that are in front of this vehicle. And the sixth one is the GPS, the most important one. So as it is self-driven, so it needs to know the route and all. So it helps to provide the route. The GPS helps to provide the route. And I have a video for this.
Thanks, you too.
All right, 6:44 now. Google's latest version of a self-driving car is hitting the streets of Mountain View only on
cars, and it's adorable. Google's next generation of autonomous vehicles officially began testing on public roads in Mountain View last week. The pod car is sleek with just a black sensor on top. Compare that to the old fleet of Lexus
The black sensor is LiDAR.
SUVs with sensors everywhere. The new pod car has no trunk, and the steering wheel, gas, and brake pedal are all removable. The pod car is very cautious. Top speed is limited to 25 miles an hour. We saw them come to full stops right on the line. For some reason, this one was driving in the middle of the lane as it cruised through a neighborhood. Google also released more about what the car sees with its spinning radar. It tracks and calculates the path of every moving object, making evasive maneuvers when necessary. It can even recognize the hand signals of a police officer. And over the past 6 years, Google has amassed a vast database of shapes of pedestrians to help the computer make sense of the world around it. For years, Google stayed tight-lipped about crashes. This photo from 2011 was one of the few fender benders ever captured on camera. But thanks to a new state law, companies must now use this form to report all accidents with the
So this video is generally to show how car is moving, how the sensors are placed on the car. So let's go with the thing. So as we talk about the LiDAR system on top of the car, So it's nothing but the vertical and horizontal setup of the system. Like it provides the horizontal view and the vertical view of whatever the vision that it is giving to the car and the camera system. And image acquisition with fully integrated Nikon DSLR cameras are used. And the 3D mode of the VZ scanners. VZ scanners are nothing but the 3D scanners, the terrestrial scanners. Like they provide a 360-degree view. So the top thing, it keeps rotating and it provides a 360-degree image to the car. And the LiDAR is used by the Google first, and then there is cruise systems. Cruise systems is similar to LiDAR. This one's specially owned by this person called Kyle Watt. So this guy, he owns this company, Cruise Systems. So he's going to be the the first company in America to sell the self-driven technology soon. And so these cruise systems have cameras and radars to map out the surroundings, and this is used mainly for the highway scenarios. Like there are like vehicles moving with very high speed, and there's a sudden switch of lanes, everything. So this helps, like it's more effective than the LiDAR thing. And steering wheel motor mounted on steering column. There's a steering wheel, and it has sensors on it, and it has adaptive speed control. Like it controls its speed. Like it has generally everybody knows what cruise in a car, right? So it sets a speed by itself. I mean, if you set out a cruise and you give a speed for it, it goes with that speed. So in these cars, if the cruise is set, like when there is a sudden movement of a vehicle that's beside you. So if there is a vehicle that's coming to you, then it slows down. This system helps to slow down the car, and it avoids the collisions. And the RP1 sensors are like region point sensors. This is specially owned by the cruise systems. They help to provide every point-to-point vision to the system, and it will be made in future for other vehicles too. Basically this cruise control is for Audi, I guess. For now, it's in the Audi. This Kyle Watt. This guy is going to implement it in Audi. He's going to do it in every vehicle. So there are a few differences between LiDAR and cruise. So Ashwant is going to explain.
These are the types of algorithm. It consists of 3D imaging with multiple 1064 nanometer lasers. And this is the topography technology, like nanometers. It is 10 power minus 9 meters. Nanometers means like this distance will be like sufficient for the vehicle to surround all this, like to detect any vehicle. And edge detection algorithm, the name itself shows edge detection. Like any vehicle passing beside you, it will detect. And motion detection, like how much speed the other vehicle is moving, and the tracking algorithm. Like any vehicle do you have any accident, and there will be different weather conditions, so it will track the. There is a difference like comparison between two systems. It is LiDAR and cruise. As she said, LiDAR is like the name itself shows light and radar, which what to say, yeah. It is a 70K system and it is a 10K system, which is like
Cost difference. So
can be used in basically anywhere, and it is only used for highways. Like in narrow roads, we cannot set a speed automatically. Design is very bulky and heavy, and it is small and lightweight. It is fully autonomous and not fully autonomous.
before that, whenever the cost difference, so if you have a car, you can update it to the self-driven technology. You can update your car to self-driven technology. So if you want to update your car with LiDAR systems, it's going to cost you like $70,000. And if you want to adapt, if you want your car to upgrade with the cruise systems, it's going to charge you just like $10,000. So that's the cost difference, and it's more effective than LiDAR.
This is the current adoption technology. Google already implemented this technology, and cruise automation. Like everyone knows driving, we have cruise option. It is Tesla Model D announcement in 2014. Like they have announced the project, but it will be launching in 2017. and same thing as Cadillac. It is hands-free driving in certain conditions. It is self-driving, so it is hands-free. And here we have vehicle-to-vehicle communication. Regarding this, there has a meeting held in Detroit recently, intelligent transport system. There will be a sensor communication between the vehicles, different vehicles. It may be trucks or anything. Whole traffic jam assistance announced in 2012 gives the same similar features. Next will be continued by Vijay Singh.
Hello friends, this is Vijay. Actually, we are the team of four, group of four.
Killed in car accidents, and the Institute for Highway Safety reported the found 72% of people who try the technology want them in their own vehicles. Some people want to adopt this technology in their own vehicles. 72% of the people are willing to. Automatic braking lowers severity of unavoidable crashes according to an IIHS. IIHS is Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Drawbacks. Although there are people who want the technology in their cars, but it can cost $2,000 on an average for safety-related technology, not automation. $10,000 for cruise in Audi Sports, as mentioned, and it has poor performance in adverse weather conditions. In poor weather conditions, it doesn't work properly. It is in testing conditions. And when the accident happens, whom we have to blame? The car manufacturer, or the programmer, or the driver. That is the major concern. If any accident happens, who is responsible? Who has to be arrested? Public acceptance and adoption. Here we can see most of the states have been rejected this thing. It is legal in Nevada and California, Florida, Michigan, and the District of Columbia, and Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Arizona, Orlando, Wisconsin, and NH has not accepted this technology. The minority versus majority is important when to adopt, if you want to adopt these cars. There will be inherent shift in the makeup of automobile accident victims, and we can see likely a decrease in driver deaths, increase of pedestrians and cyclists. Great news for some people, bad news for others. Actually, for the people who has the cars, who knows driving, it is okay. But some people don't know the driving, but they want to go somewhere. If they buy these cars, they can easily go without depending on the drivers. As in US, it is very natural that they know the self-driving. But in India, most of the people doesn't know the driving, so they are fear of traffic, all those things. So if they want to have this car, and they can go easily, but due to this, the drivers who are working, they will lose their job due to this self-driven cars. And we have an ethical conundrum. Can we accept an increase in the death rate of certain groups of people? It means a decrease in the overall death rate. Yes, we can see the overall death rate by if we have this system, if it works properly. Here there is an article. here in this article it says that the car was going on the road with a speed of 10 miles per hour. The cop has seen that why this vehicle is moving very slow, and he has ticketed that vehicle. When he went to give the ticket to the driver, but there was no driver. He got shot. But it was in the testing phase at the time. This is just fun.
Very good.